Can work be spiritual, and how can we balance work and spirituality? Another very relevant and useful question for many of us. Work, livelihood, career, these can absolutely be aligned with our aspirations for higher consciousness and growth. It doesn't have to be that they are actually an impediment. So perhaps many of us are at a certain point in our careers, and perhaps many of us are finding that work is very demanding, and perhaps it feels like that's really stopping me from focusing on my spiritual development. I'd love to do more practices. I'd love to read more books. I'd love to go on retreats, but my job is not going to let me do that. So it can certainly feel like that. But I would look at the whole area of livelihood work from a longer term perspective. I mean, there could be points in time when work gets to be very demanding. But I would say if anybody is noticing that years are going by and it's the same thing year after year, it's always draining my energies. It's always causing me to prioritize my growth in such a way that I'm not happy with it. If that's happening year after year, then clearly that indicates that some aspect of your work is not supporting your growth. And so I would revisit the entire topic of work and livelihood and revisit what is it that's causing this chronic pattern to repeat itself. Don't assume that that's just how it is. That's not true. You can design your career. You can actually make conscious choices in your career, every job you select, or if you choose to go down the entrepreneurial route, how you choose to navigate that. These choices are significant. They can absolutely make it such that the work is now giving you, first of all, the work itself is inherently satisfying and is giving you a sense of fulfillment, and also giving you enough bandwidth, enough time, enough energy to pursue your other interests. So done right, work is absolutely supportive of growth, because the actual situations you encounter in work are actually very, very useful. They are going to expand your consciousness. Every time you run into a conflict at work, or every time you run into a situation where you were not recognized or you're not treated fairly, which is happening all the time in one way or another, you start to use your consciousness and awareness to discern what is really going on. Because what's going on the surface is not the whole story. So you get to look deeper, and you only get to look deeper if you have explored that within yourself. So work starts being a gift because it gives you a chance to explore areas of integration. And this integration is vital in the long run for your spiritual growth. So it can be actually very synergistic. Work helping your spiritual growth and your spiritual practices helping you do even better at work, thriving, and making changes as needed. Oftentimes, one of the challenges I see with work is people are afraid to make changes, like changing careers, changing jobs, changing locations. There is a sense that you're stepping into the unknown, and who knows how that will pan out. So let me just hang on to my job, whatever it is right now, even though I have 25 issues going on. I'm just going to keep going with it 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Now, this is a fear of the unknown, which spirituality can help you with, because that is actually critical for you to move to the next step in your career and in your spiritual growth. So those are some things to keep in mind. When you choose light, life becomes increasingly joyful, purposeful, and inspired. I invite you to join me to explore the realms of light, the infinite possibilities that light offers.